Angels. We all have them. They're our unseen guides, our companions, our teachers, and they're all around us. Sometimes they make themselves known in the most miraculous ways. Join me, Level 3 QHHT practitioner, angel communicator, and Reiki master, Christy Clemens Hoffman, with stories from real people who have experienced uplifting phenomena and real-life angel encounters. This week on Real Life Angel Encounters, an actual conversation with a real-life human angel. Hello, my angels. Welcome back to Real Life Angel Encounters. Today, I am meeting with a real live angel, Rachel Corpus, who is an angel in a human body, who is a channel, a medium, a teacher, and a podcaster on the mindbodyspirit.fm network, just like this podcast and the Radiate Wellness podcast, which is my other show. Rachel is from the angelic realm and has great joy in this multidimensional being and human self. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rachel.
Thank you for the invitation. I'm so happy to be with you and the listeners on our beautiful network.
Right. I know. How long have you been podcasting?
Oh, I've had the blessing of being on the radio or podcast for a really long time. I actually had my first show in high school.
Oh.
Yeah. And I've had an angel show. I think maybe my first one was in 2012. And I started on this network. I was their very first show.
You were. That's amazing. Was that what the Angel Talk podcast?
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, your podcast is called Angel Talk with Rachel Corpus, all things spiritual and paranormal, right up my alley. So you were the first podcast. That's exciting and wonderful. So you've got a lengthy career stint in broadcasting and using your voice in such a way. And you're a real live angel. Tell me about that. Who did you know? And what is it like?
Well, it's a beautiful question. Thank you. Many people in our spiritual field, I was made this way and I was able to see people who had passed. I was born with that ability and I knew what animals were thinking and I could see what I call light beings, and those are also angels. And I could experience them as an infant, as a young child, and I played with them. I didn't know at that time that I was an angel. I just knew what angels were because I was being raised a Catholic girl. But when I was 4 years old, my family was hit by a drunk driver and I had a near-death experience. And when I was booped out of my little body, I heard a grown-up voice talking to me and I thought, well, who is that? Well, it was me. It was my grown-up Rachel voice. Actually, my angel name is Genevieve. And I realized, oh, there's more to me. Well, I didn't realize it. I was told there's more to you. There were more angels there. And basically, they said, well, since this is happening, car accidents happen on Earth, we're going to use this opportunity to help you remember who you are. And they took me to the seraphim realm and they showed me around, and through that, I remembered exactly who I am. I'm sure everything happens for a reason, right? And so they're saying, that's right. Sound the alarm. Here's Rachel, our angel. So they showed me around the seraphim realm, and they pretty much told me that I had a choice. I could stay there and fulfill my angel mission, or I would be able to go back home. And throughout this conversation, my little 4-year-old self would pop into and I would say, but wait, will I still be able to play house? Can I still play with my dolls? And then I can remember them chuckling. And I remember all this because even though I was 4 years old, I was also in my infinite consciousness as an angel. So I have all of those memories nice and crisp and complete. And to be honest, I didn't really choose to come back. My 4-year-old self all of a sudden remembered how sad my mom would be if I didn't come back. And as soon as that popped in, I was back in my body. But they had a chance to tell me that I was an angel, that I'm a seraphim. So we're the kind that's a big wheel with the big eye in the middle. We don't really look like an angel with wings and a halo unless people want us to. Then we'll do that. And sometimes we just look like the way I look like now, jeans and a shirt. Sometimes we show up as just a beautiful ladybug or a butterfly. It just depends on what's needed, or we just come across as a ray of sunshine, or you can't even see us. And I have a very different existence because typically angels have never been human, but I'm having a lifetime where I was asked to incarnate. So I'm not an earth angel. I'm not a hybrid. I'm full angel, in the way I got here was through a mom and a dad that I chose very specifically that could teach me what it's like to be human. And also, as I grow as a human, I'm always uploading those experiences back to source, as all humans are. So that's who I am.
Beautiful. Now, I'm a QHHT practitioner, quantum healing hypnosis technique.
Yes.
Yes, I had a client one time who had a lifetime as a guardian angel. Was fascinating. That story was on the first season, way back when, of Real Life Angel Encounters. And then I've got another story in this season that's going to be coming out or maybe it's already coming out, but someone who had another QHHT session with a lifetime as an angel. So this can happen.
Oh, yes. There are many of us walking around. And of course, there are different types of angels. Like I said, there are hybrids, which are earth angels. There are full angels. And among the full angels, there are so many different types of angels. There's angels of dominion, the cherubim, the seraphim, the worker angels. We're all around. And of course, there are the star seeds, and that's a different type of angelic type being.
Yeah, it is. Yes. And interesting that you say the star seeds are a type of angelic being. So for listeners who might not know what a star seed is, how do you define that?
Well, our definition of starseed would be a being that is someone from Lyra, someone from another planetary place, from the stars, or a hybrid, where one of their parents is from the stars and fell in love with a human. And we consider them to be also of the angelic realm because their vibrational frequency, their capability of peace and love is so high. So we can also say in a very friendly way, oh, they're from the neighborhood, they're from the hood, resonate the same way. And extraterrestrials as well, because there are so many high level, high frequent extraterrestrials that we're all from the same frequency. And the way the universe works, we're all really living in the same place anyway. We could all live on a pinhead, we're just all different frequencies on top of each other. So we all exist all together, kind of in this jumbled, beautiful little hug. And then the ones that are in the lower frequency, they're just kind of over here.
So what do you see as your job as an angel on Earth?
Oh, I'm doing it right now. I'm a messenger. So when I was on the other side, they told me exactly what my messages are. And my particular ones are to help people understand that we are not separate from each other, that we all chose to blossom out or fractal apart from source and to design perfectly these different tailored suits that we call our bodies. And some of us chose to be a pebble or a drop of water or a person or a hair on the head of a person. Even though we perceive to be different, we're not. We're all connected. So that's a message that I get to tell people, but I'm not really telling people. I just get to help people show each other through kindness. So angels don't always tell messages. They just get to nudge people in the right direction or show.
Right, because we have free will as humans. We do have
Yes. Honestly, the way that I've shown that message is by not being an asshole myself. That's one of the main ways.
Yeah.
And then another message is that all choices get to be made from a place of love. If it's not loving, it's out of alignment with the universe, with source. And so we really get to live in simplicity. If it's not loving, it's out of alignment. And there's always another choice. Always. There's always a choice.
Yeah.
We're always in control. There's always a choice.
I love that. What is it?
So those are mine.
Those are your gifts? Yeah, those are your jobs.
Yeah, that's on my mission report.
Okay, tell me about a mission report.
Well, it's like my job description. It's what I'm here to do. Yeah, and I have some specifics to mine as well. I get to be a mom. I get to be a teacher. I have a singing voice. So my singing, I have certain tones that will resonate with the angelic realm. So when I do that, bodies around me can heal. There's some specifics that I have, but my main course, my main mission, so I have those two things. And then I could put those up here as an umbrella. And then under that, my smaller things like being a mom, that would fall under there is no separation. Everything is loving. So how I am a parent to the best of my ability must fit into those things.
So obviously you had to tell your family at some point that you are an angel. What was their reaction? How did they take that?
Well, I was lucky because the first thing I got to tell them was that I was a psychic.
Right.
That was my first coming out. And I can't say that they were surprised.
Right.
Because, the response was first their personal response. Do they allow themselves to believe in something like that? That seemed to be the first thing because our experience with each other was a religious experience. So I tried my best not to take that personally. And then also there seemed to be a grieving process, at least with my immediate family, of how did we know you for so long, but you didn't tell us that? And are you still the one we know? There is that grieving. And then I just let it be because it's not my responsibility to convert them or grow them or stop my journey for someone else. So I just said, this is who I am and I love you and I hope you'll love me back. Now with my own little family, it was no problem. With my husband and my children, it was no problem. And they've always known me that way. My children have just always known me that way. They've never known a different version of me. I've never had to hold that back. And same with my husband, really. There was a time that I wasn't as spiritual, but he's always used to me saying, I heard from God today. I crossed someone over today, or I cleared a demon today. He's just like, Tuesday, I'm making spaghetti tonight. It's just no problem. I will be very honest, though, when I go home to see my family, I'm always authentic wherever I go, period, full stop. And also I read the room. I feel that that's very appropriate. So I don't go into I don't speak tongues or anything at Thanksgiving. I don't pull a crystal out of my bra and stick it in my water or anything because I know that it might not make everybody at the table comfortable.
Yeah.
It goes with, I want to make the most loving choice. And even though I want to make everyone feel included. And sometimes when I get too spiritual, people feel excluded because it's not where they are. So I don't feel like that's holding me back by doing that.
And I find that anymore, people are coming online more and more rapidly. More people are becoming accepting and understanding and acknowledging this perspective anyway.
Yes. And the people outside my family who have said, oh, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Okay. And I've even felt gratitude that they were able to say that to me. And being on this media tour and having space for people to give their comments has been an unexpected, just refreshing place for people to be able to argue and say, she's fake. I love her, or whatever. I just have their responses, and I don't read comments very often, but I've skimmed a few, and I thought it's really lovely because we don't really have places like that anymore for people to just say what they're going to say and then come back to the same space next video, and they're still okay. I wish it were more loving. I feel like we're healing that. But it's so nice to be able to be an angel in this modern time where we have this technology where people can find each other and figure out what they believe. It's so neat. I love it.
The human experience is fascinating.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep coming up against the human experience and how rich and how fascinating and how delicious it is.
Oh, I love it here. This is only my 7th lifetime here.
Is it?
I love it here.
What other lifetimes have you had here? And were they always as an angel?
Yes.
I'm not sure how that works. Yeah. So forgive me if I ask some dumb questions because I'm like, wow, this is so cool.
Wherever I go, I'll always have that at my core. It's what I'm made of. It's my gooiness inside. And then when I incarnate, it'll be wherever I incarnate. So my outer shell, my costume will be something else, but the inner vessel, the inner part of me, that's always angel.
Yeah. Okay, so in these 7 lifetimes physically on Earth, did you know that you were an angel?
Yes, something would have happened to let me know at some point. That would have been part of the contract. In this lifetime, apparently I found out a little early as the car wreck. So, because I remember them saying, since that happened and you're here, we might as well tell you.
Oh,
I don't think I was supposed to find out till after college.
oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the human experience like for someone who's an angel?
It's what we make it, because it's definitely what we make it. And what I choose to make it is absolutely divine. It's magical, because that's what I choose to make it. And I'll be honest, I think I chose well. I chose to help people, which feels beautiful. And I have a really strong faith in other people and source that gets me through everything. I've had a hard life. It has not been easy.
Oh, really?
Just because I'm an angel doesn't mean that I get off easy, because if you choose to come to Earth, Earth is the place where drama happens. You're not going to escape that no matter what. I knew that. I knew it. I signed up for it, and it's been a doozy, but I knew that. And so my angel experience is just like every other human experience, but also I have absorbed, studied, and discerned so many spiritual teachers that have helped me remember and align with the true nature of Source, which is just purely loving and not a man-made God, but a God that loves us so much that we get to remember we're so connected with God, and that everything that delights us, we get to have now. And I've really built a life that reflects that. So if I want to manifest something, I can do it immediately. If I want to drop 5 pounds, I'll do it by tomorrow. If I want to win some money, I'll do that. If I want to go on a trip, I'll go. If my back hurts, I'll just pull the pain out. I mean, I'm just going to do it. And it's not because I'm an angel. Angels can't create magic because they're angels. I'm not an elf. They can do that. I can't. I'm in full human form. I can't do anything I can't go above human level right now. Not unless I have divine intervention that allows me to save someone's life or something. The only time that I can go above that is when I'm in a session with someone and I can go into the frequency that helps me channel. And anyone can do that. Anyone can have that gift. Everyone does have that gift. But I've stuck in and I've done the work. Anybody can do this. That's what it's like. So it's what you make it. But isn't that the same for everybody?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what it's like for me.
Do you feel all that different from human people?
I don't know. How would I know?
Oh, that's a good point.
I witness people being sad a lot and down, and I don't understand that.
Do you feel that?
I feel it. Yeah, sometimes I'll put my hand on someone or I'll touch their coat so I can feel what they feel like, and it's low. It doesn't feel like me. And I wish that weren't the case. But humans aren't supposed to feel that way.
No, you're talking about humans are not supposed to feel sad. And yeah.
No, that's not the normal state. Mm-hmm. And so I know that humankind is getting back to the original state, which is a higher frequency.
Yeah.
Have you heard that from people that you've interviewed?
What is that?
That people are getting to a higher frequency?
Oh, all the time. I hear that all the time. I hear it in my QHHT sessions. I hear it from spirit when I do readings. Yeah. We're moving up in a new dimension, a new awareness, a new consciousness, a new frequency. So do you feel that much different than other angels?
I don't know.
Fair
I'd have to ask them. I don't know. I mean, let me see if I can ask somebody now. I'm asking my friend Jacob. He says yes, because we all have our own personalities, but he's saying he thinks that I'm pretty normal.
For an angel.
Yes.
I love that.
He says I don't really stand out.
Yeah. Do you know any other angels in human form?
Yes.
Do?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
It's just kind of like when you meet them, you can see light around them and they have a different outlook on life. It doesn't mean that they're happier. You just know. And then sometimes they know as well. So you can just talk about it. People will know this or not, but it's kind of like if you see an extraterrestrial who's cloaked in a human body and you look at them and you're like, I see you. And they're like, you do see me. And there's that moment of like, what do we do? We'll just keep walking. Same thing with angels. Like, do we play it cool or exchange numbers or okay? Yeah.
Friend powers activate.
Yeah. Girls unite. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, I have so many questions, Rachel. Being an angel, do you do all of the same human stuff? Do you have a human body like other humans? I mean,
Yes. Yeah. There's some things I don't handle well. I love greasy, gross foods, but I can't really handle it. There are some things about Earth that are really hard for me to process for long periods of time. Like I lived in a house for a couple of years and I found out later that there was a serial killer that used to live a block away. And I always feeling off, he was actively there. And I always felt really off there and I would throw up and stuff. And like things like that, I can't handle things like that. You'd think I would have known more being a psychic, but no, I didn't. I didn't because it's when it's my information, I can't. I don't always know. So things like that will really bother me. Things that are just incongruent or out of alignment.
Interesting. Okay. Fascinating. You work with clients, right? You
Yes.
do, etc.
Yep, that's all I do. I teach people how to grow their intuition, and I do classes, things like that. I'm working on a few projects that I'll probably unveil next year, but right now I primarily see people during the day, one-on-one or small group basis, and I help them connect to their angels, do life planning, and sometimes we connect to people on the other side as well, or their animals.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love doing that. And you're on a media tour right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that. What's this media tour about?
It's just sharing messages from the angels just on different people's platforms. And it's just been really lovely. So people can just search my name and different interviews will come up. And we talk about things like different timelines and accessing the quantum realm. And sometimes different angels will talk through me or different ascended masters or sometimes the extraterrestrials. And yeah, just good messages for this time.
Wonderful. So now you're on my podcast, my show, Real Life Angel Encounter.
Yes.
I've been so excited to meet you. I have to say, you teach classes and workshops. I'm looking at your website now, and there is a tab about Sarai. Am I saying that right? Or Sarai?
Sarai.
Right, because I am fascinated.
Sarai is a group of extraterrestrials who have been talking to me since I was a little kid. And they're like a council. It's a small group of them. They're female. And they just come and talk to me from time to time, or I can call them in. So sometimes I channel them. So they'll talk about them on the podcast sometimes. I just did a video using the dowsing rods where I talked to them about the recent UAPs on my Facebook channel, Facebook page. And yeah, they're just lovely. And they'll occasionally bring in extraterrestrials from other realms as well. So they tend to be kind of a collective of different types of extraterrestrials that I can't always identify, but they'll bring in whoever's needed at that time, and they'll work with the angels as well.
You found out any lifetimes that you've had on other planets as an angel?
Yeah, quite a few. I tend to be a negotiator for between the angelic realm and other realms is often what I do.
Wow, how fascinating. All right. So you knew from an early age that you had these gifts, these abilities. You knew from an early age that you were actually an angel. How long have you been doing all of this professionally for your job?
Maybe 10 years.
Oh,
so a little longer.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. Gosh, we have very similar paths, but I'm not aware of being an angel, which is very, very, very fascinating. Oh my goodness. So you're one of them. How do angels interact with us?
Countless ways. When we are your specific angel, if we're assigned to you and we're your guardian angel, we will intervene with your thoughts because we are an extension of you. And we will use, and any angel can communicate through music. Really, anything can be a message if you're open to it. We like to send messages through repeated numbers, even letters. And we'll use something that we call angel speak, where we'll go right up to a person and talk in their ear so they'll think it's their idea when they say something to you. We certainly use synchronicities all the time. You might have someone mentioning the same book or movie or phrase over and over until you get it. It's coming from us. And we also access your free life choices or documents, and we help you keep on course, because once you're born and you forget all those things, we help keep you on track. So we'll do that almost like you'd have an admissions or an advisor at school. Yeah. We can help with that as well. And so we'll do that through helping your ears ring, or getting you noticing a commercial or something for a certain idea that you might have had before you were born, that might get you interested in listening to a certain show or taking a class or a certain hobby that you might have forgotten, just to keep you in alignment with what you have chosen.
I love that. So as an angel, are you anybody's guardian angel?
No, not at this point. I've done that before, but not at this time. No. Now I have guardian angels because I'm in a body, so I have to, and they're great.
What is the role of a guardian angel?
The role of the guardian angel is to be assigned to their person consecutively for all of their lifetimes. So we're assigned our angels when we're created, so prior to all the lifetimes starting. And they're with their person all the time. They can't interfere with free will, but they can elevate from being cheerleader to more of a participant in their person's life. If the person says to their angel, just internally or even out loud if they want, "Angels, I invite you in." They say that to their personal angel. Their angel can start to give them more collaborative help, more collaborative answers. And sitting with your angels and just saying to them, "I want to work on experiencing you. Show me the way that you like to connect with me," and getting to know your angel's personality. And saying, "Okay, this week, angels, show me your favorite type of music. Put your favorite taste in my mouth. Give me your favorite scent." And then move to the other side, or even say, "Angels, show me how many of you there are." And then watch for a number on a license plate that's probably going to be less than 5 for the average person. Just get to know them. It's the best thing that you can do. But that's the role of our guardian angels. They are assigned to us. And then archangels are not assigned to any specific person, and they're not limited to time and space. And sometimes people actually have an archangel that has been assigned to their guardian angels as kind of a mentor. So people might feel really inclined or really love an archangel, and they're right about that. They're feeling that they have a connection to an archangel, and that would be why.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I believe we have both guardian angel and archangel.
Oh, yes.
Now you're at the seraphim level in the hierarchy. Isn't that the highest level of angel?
If you watch it mapped out, it's up there, but we don't have a hierarchy on the other side. Everyone's equal. It just happens to be how it's kind of the building is laid out or the elevator map. But we can go to any level that we want. So I could put in a request to be in the cherubim if I wanted to incarnate there, I could.
So have you been other types of angels throughout your incarnations?
I've experimented, but I really like being in the seraphim because that's where the unborn babies are. I'm not a big baby person per se, but I like the creation of it, like the molding process.
Interesting. Have you been any other types of beings on Earth besides human?
Yes, I've been cat, and I've been bird. Those don't count in my 7. I've been human 7 times. The cat and bird, it was almost instant. So it was just a quick, just so I could kind of visit for a second. Yeah, it wasn't very long.
How fascinating. This is so interesting. So what would you like our listeners to know about angels? Maybe something that we have not talked about.
We always like to tell people that we are not religious. We are not confined to religion. That's mismarketing. And that there are no fallen angels. There are only angels that are rehomed. We're all made of light, and that we're all connected to source. Just like one of my mission statements is that there's no separateness. So there's no fallen angel, there's no fallen person. And that angels are spiritual. They're made of spirit just like people are, like all beings are. So they're not religious. They're not part of any religious sect or faith-based system. So when people think about angels, they can be really open about them, and angels can show up however you want or need them to. And they're not your family. They are beings all on their own.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. You've got a website.
Yes. It is my name, rachelcorpus.com.
Corpus.
Yes, that's my last name.
.com. Yeah. And do you have anything coming up that you'd like to promote or pimp out?
I just encourage everyone to listen to the podcast because you'll get to learn more about what it's like to be an angel in a human body. And I have great guests on, and it's a great show. And I have great stuff coming up, but I don't want to talk about it yet. I'm going to keep the surprise for a little bit.
I know I've got a big surprise, and it's just so hard to hold on to the surprise. But yeah, it's some to keep under vest until we have more final. Yeah.
I will say that I'm taking a group of people to Eureka Springs, Arkansas. So if anyone's interested in going on a trip to the country's most haunted hotel or one of them, and to learn with me about spirit and angels, included with the cost of the trip, there is, we'll meet 6 times on Zoom, 2-hour class each time. And that class is included with the trip. It's a lovely trip. It's a historic place. Get to go to the Glass Chapel. It's just gorgeous.
I love Eureka Springs. I've been there many times. You're talking about the Crescent Hotel.
Crescent Hotel.
For the mountain. And
yes.
The huge crystal bed underneath that hotel and underneath Christ of the Ozarks.
Right. We're going to see all of that and just hang out together. Going with my friend Amy, who is well seasoned in taking people on these trips. And we can only take 45 people, so it'll fill pretty fast. So if anybody's interested in that, they can contact me on my website. It'll be updated soon. And yeah, that's coming up in April.
Okay, that was my next question. When is that coming up in April? Wonder. Yeah. Sounds like a fabulous time. Anybody who has not been to Eureka Springs, it's a beautiful historic place. It is so charming, and you can just feel the energy from all of the crystal beds underneath that city. And the water is amazing too. I went on a Mother's Day type of trip with my mom and my daughter. My mother, who has profound swelling in her feet, her swelling completely went away. Her shoes did not fit. And I think it's because of the energy and the water. And she was able to walk farther than she's ever been able to walk in a long time. And yeah, no swelling. And of course, we came back to Kansas City and her feet swelled up again in a few days. But that's how Excelsior Springs got on the map. It was the water, the healing water.
Right.
Still bottled by Ozarka. Yeah,
that's right.
A lovely little place. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm glad this worked out. And it's been so fun talking to an actual angel, a real life angel, having that encounter right now.
Well, thank you for having me on your show, and thanks to your listeners.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and follow, and be sure to share this episode. The more people who know about this podcast, the more great story submissions we get. Have a story to share? Email your own real-life angel encounter to angelencounterspodcast@gmail.com or visit radiatewellnesscommunity.com/real-life angel encounters podcast. Or join our Facebook group and continue the discussion. Want to know what your angels and loved ones have to tell you? Schedule an appointment with me at radiatewellnesscommunity.com. A special thanks to James Wheeler for the original music and to Tiffany Baumgarten for the logo design.